We're just a stone's throw away from the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame as we get set for football at First Energy Stadium in Cleveland, Ohio. This was the scene a few minutes ago. The dog pound in full roar as their Browns emerge from their tunnel. They're ready to go as they get set to match up with the Chicago Bears. It's the first weekend of autumn, and the NFL is in full swing as off we go on EA Sports. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. First carry for Nick Chubb. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down, otherwise it's going to be a long afternoon.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. A run for Nick Chubb. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Mayfield. He finds his target, Beckham. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Play action now. Here's Mayfield. Toward the sideline. Did he keep the feet in? Yes, he got them both down, says the side judge. And that's good enough for a first down. A good pickup there of 20 yards. So into Bear territory now. This is 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. Mayfield hands it off to Chubb. And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line. The tackle by Robert Quinn.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Throwing, Mayfield. They set up the screen to Chubb. Give him 5 on the screen play, and that'll set up a 3rd down. A nice throw there by Mayfield, a guy who really reemerged as the season and later the playoffs went on last year. What are defenses trying to do against him?
Well, the first thing defenses want to do is use his emotion against him because he's such a passionate player that sometimes he comes up really hyped up and the ball might sail a little bit early. But as the game settles in, the next part is make sure you chip away at his timing, put the pressure on him so maybe his feet don't get quite set, and then he's not able to be as accurate as he normally is.
Here's Mayfield. Eluding the pressure right. To the right side, and he's got Landry complete. And he is out of bounds right around the 10-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. They'll run with Chubb. And he'll fight forward maybe to the line of scrimmage, but that's all. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal.
Absolutely love the effort there. The ability to flow from his inside spot and stop that one at the line of scrimmage. Nice linebacker play.
Another shot from the 9 on 2nd and goal. They go play action. Mayfield. And it's caught. Touchdown, Browns. Andy Janovich, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Browns take it right down the field and score on the opening drive. A long opening drive, but a very successful opening drive. We call that methodical, I guess, when it takes that many plays.
Methodical and almost like a boxing match where you're hitting them with body blows. They can withstand them here. Look, they gave them the touchdown, but you don't feel like a knockout is there. But they keep doing that in the 4th quarter. That's when the knockout occurs.
And it becomes tough for that defense if they're on the field that long. We'll see if they can continue that in future drives. He's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. They'll go option to the short side. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. Only a yard there on the keeper, and that's going to leave him with a 3rd down. Well, this defense for the Browns, very strong last week as they helped their squad improve to 2-0 on the young season.
And every defensive team that we talk to, they spend a lot of time talking about creating turnovers. And anytime you get 2 or more in a game, you've had a really good performance. They exceeded that number in a huge way. They got the football back 4 times in the win.
Throwing on 3rd down, Fields. And he finds his target. It's Marquise Goodwin. And he will have the Bears' 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. A big gain of 28 as the drive continues.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Give them 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. Well, this defense for the Browns, very strong last week as they helped their squad improve to 2-0 on the young season.
And as in any game, takeaways are always a big key. They're always discussed on defense. There's an emphasis there, and they came away with 3 interceptions in that game.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 41. Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8. That last play backwards a yard. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. The line to gain is the 33 on 3rd down. Out of the gun, Fields. And he completes it to Cohen. And boy, he is very close to a 1st down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short.
And the Bears are very happy to have Tariq Cohen back for situations just like this. 150 catches combined in 2018 and 19, but hurt his knee in week 3 a year ago. Having his shifty moves and great hands, a terrific asset for their offense.
So they'll say no to the 50-yard field goal try. Instead, the offense out there, they're going for it. They snap it to Fields. He's going to have his running back. It's complete. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. The conversion is successful with a sizable gain of 13, and the decision to go for it looks like a smart one. Fields on 1st down. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
They've given up a few 1st downs on this drive, but getting the incompletion there, that should give them something to build on and maybe turn the tide.
From the 21, it's 2nd and 10. Here's Fields. He'll find Ballore out of the backfield. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4.
Well, this has certainly been a nice drive with the way they've spread the football around. Here, they even get the fullback involved in the passing game. That's got to cause a lot of consternation on the defensive side. You've got to cover him, too. That makes things really difficult.
This will be play number 9 of the drive here as they need 4 yards on 3rd down. Again, Fields. Flush to his right. And he will not make it back to the line of scrimmage as he's going to be taken down. So this defense, they gave up some yards on this drive, but bottom line, they came up with a sack when it mattered.
And we know that every down counts, but let's be honest about it. People focus on 3rd down as a real key down in any drive, any situation. And they took full advantage of 3rd down there and made a play.
So, yes, it's only 3, but at least they're able to answer back after giving up the touchdown to start the year.
Yeah, I like the observation there because getting some points on the board, very positive for them. Feel a little bit better about things because if you don't score, you potentially have opened the door for them to...
And he can't field it cleanly. It's loose. And this will be a touchback, so they'll bring it out to the 25. The Cleveland offense ready to go. They had the touchdown on the opening drive of the ball game. It was countered by just a field goal. So, hey, if your guys can do that for 4 quarters, you're in good shape.
Yeah, it is a team game, so that's just good complimentary football. But, you know, I know I'm no brainiac, but you trade 6s for 3s, things are going to work out in your favor.
An excellent way to start the drive there, 18 yards. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. On the carry, it's Chubb. And he'll take this for about 4 up to the 46-yard line.
Well, you don't turn your nose up at a gain of 4, do you? They'll take that on 1st down. Playbook's got to be pretty well open on 2nd and 6.
Now a 2nd down and 6. Mayfield off the play fake. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
On 3rd down, Mayfield. Escaping the pressure right. Toward the sideline. Did he keep the feet in? Yes, he got them both down, says the side judge. And that's good enough for a 1st down. A big 3rd down pickup of 20 yards. So into Bear territory now. This is 1st and 10 down at the 33. A give. This is Chubb. And a 5-yard gain as he's down inside the 30 to the 28-yard line.
Brandon, 5 yards on that run. Let's get back to the huddle and make sure if you're a back, you spend time with your offensive line and give them credit. Hard to move those 300-plus pounders at the line of scrimmage, and they did for a significant chunk of yardage.
Second down, here's Chubb again. And he'll get this forward only for about a yard, as that's going to take us to the 2-minute warning. 5 yards on 1st down, but now just a 1-yard pickup there on 2nd. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
That's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next.
Gostkowski on for the field goal of 46 yards.
And Gostkowski's kick is good. And they push the lead up to a touchdown now at 10-3. So a nice kick there as they are able to add on to their lead.
And that's exactly what you're looking to do. Maneuver yourself into range. That way, if your drive stalls out, you're able to get something out of it. And they do so right there.
At their own 25-yard line.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. Just a lone field goal for them so far, trailing 10-3 as they come up 1st and 10. They'll start with a give to Cohen. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
Whenever we talk about the best strong safeties, one word constantly comes up, and that's instincts. Being able to diagnose run or pass and make the appropriate moves.
He crashed down hard there. He was ready for that running play. Here's 2nd and 9. Now Fields. Flushed out right. Space to maneuver at the 40. He'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a 1st down. But Charles, in the past, a lot of people called this offense one-dimensional.
I think you did.
Well,
I think it was you.
I'll be honest, I did. I think the fan base is hoping with this young rookie that they can put some wrinkles in this offense like we just saw.
I think you're exactly right, because we did have that discussion that what we've seen in the past from them, they needed to broaden, and they have done it here. Look at what he's bringing to their offense, and now as a defensive coordinator, you've got some extra work to do to prepare for him and their offense.
One play action. Fields. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And this is intercepted, but they'll say out of bounds. Oh, very close to a turnover there in the end zone. Toward the back corner of the end zone, but he could not get the feet down. This will wind up incomplete. A chance now to get even before the break as they come up 1st and goal. They'll run for it with Montgomery. And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. David Montgomery punching it in from a yard away. And the Bears are an extra point away from tying the ball game here in the final minute of the 1st half. Santos with the extra point, and we are tied here in the 2nd quarter. All level now at 10 apiece as the kick's away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Browns drive about to get started. And with a little under a minute to play, they may be looking to pick up some yardage here, maybe try and come up with a field goal to seize the lead before intermission. A first carry now for Kareem Hunt. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32. So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. Mayfield on play action. And it's hauled in by Austin Hooper. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds.
And in his second year in Cleveland after 4 in Atlanta, Austin Hooper always does all he can to build some rapport with his quarterback. He did it with Baker Mayfield last year, expects it to continue to rise here in 2021.
Play fake. Mayfield. Eluding the pressure right. Looking sideline, incomplete. He was looking for Odell Beckham that time. And now it's second down.
That was an interesting look there because as soon as he got outside the pocket, I thought he was going to take off and run for yardage. But what often happens now with these quarterbacks who can move, defenses want to try and keep bodies in front of them. And I think that discouraged him from taking off and made him try a pass downfield that fell incomplete.
Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10. From the gun, Mayfield. And he's got the hook up to Landry. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action. So they go from one 42-yard line to the other as they come up now 1st and 10. On 1st down, they'll run with Chubb. Roquan Smith, the Bears' leading tackler last year, up to make the play. Now the Browns signal for the second of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half. Still 9 remaining on 2nd down. Mayfield to throw it. They'll roll him out right. And that'll be incomplete with just 6 seconds left on the clock.
My first thought is surprise because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
And now they'll take a timeout defensively. After the 2nd down play, they burn the timeout, making him sweat out the final few ticks here in the 2nd quarter. And unless this is a quick incompletion, this is likely the last play here of this first half. On 3rd down, it's Nick Chubb. And he can only manage to take this thing to the 38, well shy of the 1st down. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the 2nd quarter.
Stephen Gostkowski on for the field goal. A 55-yard attempt.
And he has got it from 55 yards away. That was never in doubt. So we have reached halftime here in Cleveland with the Browns on top as we send you down to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. Thank you, sir. A field goal separates these two teams as we come back for this 2nd half. The Bears going to see the football first, and they trail here as we get back underway to start this 2nd half. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And they're still very much in this game, although they do trail. What's the game plan, Charles, for the 2nd half?
It might be a little counterintuitive because most people will think losing equals passing the ball more, but I'd establish the running game. They kind of went away from it in the first half. I think if they get back in balance, it'll help them when they put the ball back in the air.
2nd and 8. Back to throw. Fields. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Anthony Walker in there to drop him for a loss on the play.
Okay, was it a breakdown in protection? Did the running back not pick him up? What does it really matter? Sometimes it's just a great play made by the defense. Big-time sack.
From the gun, here's Fields. Deep ball for Goodwin. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. Well, the passing windows are just not there. That's just another example of how great this defense has been all game long.
And that's exactly what a top 10 defense can do. They can really change the game tempo and frustrate you as you try to execute offensively.
O'Donnell, he's on to punt as he gets this one away. Fair catch called for and taken right near the 30-yard line. 37 yards on the punt with no return. And the Browns will take over 1st and 10. The Cleveland offense ready to go. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they help him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Handoff comes to Chubb. And he's got it across midfield and into Bear territory. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown. So a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later. And let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on 1st down.
2nd and 6. Now Mayfield. And finding the tight end Hooper. Touchdown! Austin Hooper. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Browns add on to their lead.
For a big tight end, he can sure move like a slot receiver when he gets a head of steam going. And as a defensive back, you've got a big decision to make when he's moving like that.
Extra point good by Gostkowski. And his guys will take a 10-point lead. The Browns kicking team out there now as they'll send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at it.
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Damon Harrison bringing in 341 pounds of power for the sack. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now, the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. And he'll be out of bounds downs across the 30-yard line. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him to football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit, but get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of it where all the big boys are, you know, make him make someone miss in the open field.
To throw is Fields. That'll be taken in by Damiere Byrd. And he will have the Bears first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. His first catch, and it's a pretty big one. They get the conversion on third down. First down, here's the run to Montgomery. And he'll be brought down right at midfield after a gain of only a couple.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. From the 50, here's Fields. Caught out left side by Robinson. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. Let's go. Let's go. Getting it to him in space pays off big time. That winds up going for 31. So a big play as it gets him all the way down to the 20 now for 1st and 10. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. He's got a man. It's his fullback. That catch good for only a couple.
I wouldn't be surprised to see the next step in utilizing this position is to actually utilize more of a scat back in this spot, because we saw the catch there, right? He made it, but he's a bigger, stronger guy, maybe not quite as elusive as maybe someone else you would put there.
Yeah, didn't get the big yardage there you might out of a smaller back. On 2nd down, Montgomery. And he'll be stopped after a gain of only a couple down to the 15-yard line.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
Play number 7 now coming up on the drive. 3rd and 5. Here's Fields. He'll leave it for Montgomery complete. And he'll be out of bounds. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
A very important 3rd down conversion right there, because when you're trailing and find yourself this deep in enemy territory, the kicker's not even part of your thought process. You got to make it pay off with 6. Nice connection right there to set up 1st and goal.
1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Toss play, Cohen, right side. And he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown. Tariq Cohen. Fine work there on the touchdown run. And the Bears are able to get a score back in the final stages of this 3rd quarter. Santos able to tack on the extra point, and the lead is down to a field goal. Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback.
At their own 19-yard line.
The Browns drive about to get started. Their lead down to a field goal now as they start with a 1st and 10. To begin the drive, here's a handoff to Hunt. Fighting his way through contact. And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this 3rd quarter. So both teams trade touchdowns in the 3rd as we're through 3 quarters of play. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. Back to the ground. This time it's Chubb. Looking for a seam but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. No gain on the play there. 2nd down.
From 2nd and 10 at the 33-yard line.
Mayfield looks to throw. He'll let it go deep for Beckham. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. They run again on 1st down, Chubb. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. 69 yards rushing for him in the ball game now on 14 carries.
Well, it is our business to analyze what we saw out there, and on that play, I saw a defense staying in base, not taking a chance, not blitzing in a situation where they absolutely need the football back. That's either a case of overthinking it or not thinking it through.
If you do blitz, do you have to be careful about where you're coming from, or are you just coming from all angles?
You have to be careful about where you're coming from, obviously, but at this stage, you have to take a few chances as well.
Akeem Hicks that time on the tackle. The recipe's pretty simple, I think, right? Just give your superstar the ball, continue to feed him.
Yeah, don't overthink this one, right? Make sure he's touching the football, but you're also counting on his intelligence in playing the game as well. If it's not there, don't force the run. Just make sure you hang on to the football and keep the clock ticking.
To throw on 2nd and 6, Mayfield. And bringing it in right side here, Beckham. 1st down, Cleveland, Mayfield to Beckham.
Well, that should be a reminder defensively, and I think it's a reminder to myself because you just can't sell out to stop the run. There's still enough time that this offense can move the football through the air, even on 1st and 2nd downs, and they obviously picked the right spot to throw the ball there.
So 1st and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up. Chubb. And he'll be stopped about a yard shy of the goal line after a pickup of about 3.
It is definitely hard to find space near the goal line. You always want to have a guy in the game running it who can create his own.
Second and goal from the 1. Chubb again. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. Nick Chubb, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Browns add 6 to their lead. Well, that's certainly going to bump up the old win probability index because now it's a 2-score game here in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, you're taking me into that deep water now. Win probability index. This game's definitely not over. We're not looking at a 0.5% or something. It's just 2 scores. But the way that this team has played, to me, what I've seen, they absolutely deserve to win this game. They've been the better team by far throughout.
Gostkowski the extra point, and his guys will take a 10-point lead. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive.
And you figure after giving up that last touchdown, they trail by 2 scores here in the fourth quarter. This drive becomes very critical.
Flush to his right, and not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. He'll get just a yard on the scramble. It's second down.
Brings up 2nd and 9 at the 26-yard line.
Fields. Escaping the pressure right. And he gets this up to the 34 out of bounds there. He turned that into a nice gain. Gets him 8 yards closer for third down.
Okay, he's not going to get the first down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit.
The Bears on third down. They've hit it 50%, 3 and 6 to this point. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Montgomery. And he will have the Bears first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. 14 yards through the air. Caught the D off guard on 3rd and 1. On first down, it's Fields. Steps away to his left and avoids the contact by sliding. So a 1st and 10 upcoming from Browns territory now at the 41. A shotgun snap, Fields. And he completes it to Cohen. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down. So the Bears with the football here as we welcome you back. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. And Santos able to put this one up and through. It's good. And this is back down to a 7-point game. So you knew one way or another that they needed the 2 scores. They get the easy one out of the way. Now they'll get the ball back, hopefully.
Yeah, and the question is, how do you accomplish that? Do you onside kick it? Or since you have all 3 timeouts, do you kick it deep? To me, I'm playing field position with all 3 timeouts. I kick it deep and try and pin them back there.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Cleveland offense ready to go. And this game not quite over yet. And we'll likely see them take all 3 timeouts defensively, so they can't just kneel this one out. They're going to have to try to run a few plays.
You're exactly right. They've got to get a first down and make them use up all their timeouts in order to feel like they have this one in hand.
They'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31. 83 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. They run it again with Chubb. And some room to run now. Fights through it. And all the way down inside the 25 before he's out of bounds.
Well, It's a carry they have to be satisfied with, and throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
So the big play gets them all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. They'll get him to the ground at the 20 following a pickup of 4. Now the Bears going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll get it with just over 90 seconds to go in the ball game. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. They run. Chubb. And he's only going to get a yard from the 20 to the 19. Now the Bears will use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll get it with just under 90 seconds remaining. And the Bears in the nickel. No, wait, they're in the dime. 6 DBs out there on 3rd.
Could play an exotic coverage.
And now we've got flags down. Looked like one of the Browns might have moved. So the false start certainly doesn't help matters as they'll try again now. 3rd and long. Following the penalty, Chubb. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. It's a loss of a full 3 yards, and it brings up 4th down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. Gostkowski's kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So barring something extraordinary here in the closing stages, that field goal should just about put this one on ice.
Yeah, we've got to find 2 scores. So, we're not going to exactly move it over there yet. It can be done, but boy, it's going to be a little bit of a stretch for them, isn't it?
Yeah, they would have to move incredibly quick and have some luck, too. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. They might be thinking this is close to a lost cause here. Got to play it out. What do they need to do?
Well, they have a thought process in mind already, but they can't get ahead of themselves. They know that they need to score quickly.
And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Jadeveon Clowney in there to drop him as that clock continues to run. And we've got movement. I think this is against the Bears here. Let's find out. And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. 2nd down and long. And one last throw here for Fields. And able to get this across the 20 before going out of bounds. Charles, we saw a lot of points go up in this one. Certainly defensively, stuff that they can look at on film, don't you think?
No doubt about it. And they've got to go back and check where the errors are, how they're going to fix them, and continue to get better at what they do. But they also need a little adjustment with their confidence. To give up that many points, even if you win a game, that can hurt you.
So for the Browns, it's an ideal start as they move to 3-0 now on the young season. There they will hit the road next week to take on the Minnesota Vikings. Meanwhile, for the Bears, they'll fall to 1-2, and they'll get a home date next week against the Detroit Lions.